Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you in another video. All right. So I've been trying to filter my energy with certain conversations because I know I've been working myself up a little too much, and that's not a good thing. It's bad. But we talk basketball here, and unfortunately, we have another one of those scandal conversations that we are going to try our best to provide some information, but that's the relevancy of bringing it to the channel. Otherwise, no light would be brought to this as of yet. But um, we've talked a little bit about Josh Primo and the fact that he was waived by the San Antonio Spurs. They released a statement saying from his people saying that he was going to take some time away to address his mental health, and you know he would look forward to being able to speak about what was going on at a further later date. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it seemed a little interesting that he was not only waived, but they started to remove his paraphernalia and things of that nature from the store. And while it's not as if that doesn't go hand in hand, it did seem kind of strange that he would have a mental health issue and then they would waive him and then start ripping his stuff off of their stores. That doesn't seem like those two things go hand in hand to me. You would think they would try to leave the door open for the young man to come back when his situation would be, taken care of. And when you heard Greg Popovich speak of the young man, he had nothing but raving things to say about him and appeared concerned to me. Now, when I look at something like this, I say, first of all, the information is coming out in increments just like last time. First we get a little bit, then we get a little bit less, then we get a little bit less than that, it seems. Just like we got with the Ime Udoka story, just like we got the Phoenix story, just like we got with the Draymond story. They're all got this same kind of theme to them, where they release the information in a certain way, and then you start to understand that they're revealing to you that there's a scandal. Now we're finding out that they released the information after that attached to what the details were of what he's being now accused of. And they said that the young man has exposed himself to a female employee. Now, they did not tell us it was an employee at first. Now, they waited a few hours to let us know that the female was an employee. First, they let us know he exposed himself. Then they said it was to a female. Then they said it was to an employee. So this is how the news is being given to us in increments. And so, as we understand it now, that is the information. Now, as I've been following different things, the fact that they're saying the lady is a part of the Spurs organization, here we go again. I don't know if I can overlook how this looks. Okay? I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. This brain doesn't do that very well. I go straight to the conspiracy. I completely overlook the obvious. And a lot of times it does get me in trouble. But at least you guys know that I do that. Now, the obvious is in place. The lady has not yet to be revealed to us. I don't expect that she would be revealed to us. I don't expect that we deserve to know that as of yet. But the fact that she's attached to the organization, it's too many of these stories popping up at the same time. And after the last 3 times, I told you guys to look out for the next one. Because that's how predictable this was becoming. And here we are. Now, I figured the pattern is that the teams that have last been to the finals, or the teams that have had these horrible coincidences and horrible circumstances, fall in their laps by way of people attached to their organization one way or another. However it is, here we go again. And I just look at how the information is being brought to us, and I'm just saying, nah, man, this is not something that I'm just gonna be able to look at and say, okay, we're doing all right. This is nothing. There's nothing to see here. I'm sorry, I'm just not wired like that. Especially with all the other stuff that's going on, like everything that's going on in the world right now. And then I'm supposed to look at that at face value? Just face value? Now, granted, that does not mean that the kid is not, in fact, doing what it is he's been accused of. But I'm different. Let me tell y'all something. I'm different, y'all. If I don't know how to do this. How do you do this? If I'm somebody who's aware of an athlete, right? Because I follow athletes, right? So I know people follow them very, very closely. I know this. I know they follow athletes to the point where they know their left and right hand, right foot, how they step, how they move. They know everything about these athletes, from how long their fingertips are to how long their toes are. They know everything about these dudes. They allow us to understand how deeply they study these individuals. Their latency, movements, and patterns. They study these dudes because they invest millions of dollars in these people when they're children. Mind you, a guy like Josh Primo's, they've been aware of him since he was like 14 years old, probably. He's only 19 right now. Now, me, personally, that's not my bag. I don't run around exposing myself to women. I don't do that. All right? Got my ways, but that's not one of them. But at 19 years old, whatever those strange ways were, they were wild in their own right. All right? In their own right. I don't know what this young man did or didn't do, but I can say the organization now has to deal with yet another scandal. And sometimes, some things are just happenstance, and other times things can be predictable. Like how a young man's going to act in certain situations. Like how a young man's going to act in certain situations when a young woman's around. I don't think that it's insane for me to wonder if there's things to wonder. And given by the fact that they're not giving us any information, judging by the last 3 situations where they did it this way, it just leaves me more and more suspicious about what it is I'm looking at. So, I'm not saying Josh didn't do this. He could have very well done this, and this could still be in place. See what I'm saying? So, that doesn't exonerate the kid from being whatever, if he did these things, however alleged, whatever. But the grown-ups around him, come on, man. And so, yeah, while they're looking at him, somebody should be smart enough to look around him while whatever is going on is going on. And the fact that we're not getting the information, it just doesn't feel good to me, because I just am starting not to trust where the information comes from. And I don't know where that begins or ends. I just don't. With this brain, I don't know where that ends. That's what I'm trying to express to you. So, yeah. I believe, if this is not what it seems to be at face value, that the NBA is under some sort of attack. I don't know if it's from within. I don't know if it's coming from outside. I don't know if this is just nothing. I don't know. But it's getting to a point where you're starting to see a pattern. It's a pattern. That's team number 4. So, yeah. Like I said, it's weird. I'm looking forward to finding out what's the next incremental information they will allow us to understand. Obviously, I'll be praying for all parties involved. And I apologize for not being as sensitive as people normally are in this era. But I'm just skipping certain things. I just deliberately am. Because I know in this era, you're supposed to say the victim is, and that is very much relevant here. So just copy and paste all that stuff that people would normally say. I'm thinking it, just not saying it. She matters. But this looks weird, man. This really, really looks weird. So prayers out. That's what I'm going to say for now. And keep your eyes open. That's what I'm going to say for now as well. BDL44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.